Hey guys, Ryan here, and I'm back ready to do part 2. If you guys missed part 1 of my video talking about what they're not telling you about print on demand, go back, check that out real quick. We went over how nobody on YouTube is talking about the biggest challenge facing your e-commerce business and your print on demand businesses, which is just getting visibility. You can't sell a product that nobody knows about. And I walked you through some organic traffic building strategies that have been working for me. And I promised you that today in part 2, I was going to bring an expert at running paid ads to increase visibility to any of your e-commerce products. This is my buddy John. He's actually a friend of the channel. I've done a couple of videos with him in the past. What's up, John? Thanks for being here.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome back. And yeah, I'm excited for what you're going to share today. He's prepared a short presentation on how he uses Facebook ads specifically to drive targeted traffic to his Shopify store, and he's been absolutely crushing it. Would you say so? Like, how have your sales been lately?
You know, when we find a good product, if we find something that's a little more evergreen, we'll be running 3 to 5K a day, all from paid ads. Like maybe 10% of those sales are coming from email recovery or SMS recovery. But, you know, we're spending a couple $1,000s a day on ads. And then on the other hand, I'll show you the stats on one of our best products that one of our students she did over $500,000 in 6 weeks. So not too bad. And that's 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure pretty much anybody, myself included, would be very happy with those results. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got prepared. And if you're ready, I can show your screen and we can start going through the presentation. Let's
do it, man.
Cool.
Give me the green light.
Yep. I'm going to switch it over real quick. There we go.
Cool. So guys, I just wanted to, I chatted with Ryan earlier about how I could help, your viewers the most. And we decided that just talking specifically about Facebook ads, not super deep because there's all sorts of technical things you could look up on YouTube or within Facebook's blueprint. And I just want to keep it like a general concept, right? Because I believe a lot of you watching are either thinking about getting into some form of online business with Amazon, or maybe you already have a print on demand business. And the cool thing is with print on demand, you can actually drive Facebook ads to your products, right? So if you're like, let's just say, for example, you put up all your product listings on Shopify, which is where I do all of my selling. Facebook ads and Shopify are like a match made in heaven. So I'm going to go over some big ideas. I'm not going to go super deep because I just want to really show you the benefits of getting into selling with Facebook ads for your store and for your products, and hopefully give you an idea of how it works overall. Ryan, and I'm a little bit new to the POD space, the print on demand, and I'm not an expert by any means with Amazon in general. So hopefully Ryan can kind of guide me in questions just to make sure I'm being as specific to your niche as possible. Okay,
for sure. And also, real quick, in yesterday's video, we talked about how this is a challenge facing anybody, whether it's e-commerce or retail too. It's all about visibility. If nobody knows about your product, you're not making sales. And what's special about Facebook ads and selling on places like Amazon, which we talk plenty about, is this scalability. If you really are selling something that's catching, if you're on the front line of a trend, the potential is just massive. Like you said, with that student that did, what'd you say, $500,000?
Over $500,000.
Yeah, like it's like when you're onto something, the ability to scale it out is what's so special. And again, by selling online, this is where there is a distinction between retail. Possibilities are almost endless since you can ship globally, right?
100%, man.
And real quick too, before you jump in, let's tell them about your Facebook group, because I want to make sure they know where they can reach out to you after this if they want to learn more about Facebook ads and Shopify dropshipping and whatnot.
Yeah, cool, man. So we've got an awesome Facebook group, a great Facebook community where we just share a lot of value, try to do our best. Obviously, our time's a little bit limited. We have our own course members. We're active dropshippers, which are a lot of people in this space that teach dropshipping with Shopify. Facebook ads don't actually do the business anymore, which is crazy, but you probably see it in Amazon too a lot. I know you do, Ryan.
Yes.
So we've created
Fortunately,
so we've created a pretty awesome community. We also have a free mini course that probably will be available for download by link which Ryan, maybe you can pop that into the video description later after I give that to you later this week.
Will do. Yeah, when that's ready to go, I'll pop that in the video description. So those of you guys watching the video on the day it's released on Tuesday the 9th, you won't have it. But if you check back in on the 10th, or even better yet, just check out the e-commerce dropshipping wolves Facebook group. I've got a link on the bottom of the video right there. I'll put a link in the description. And when it's ready to go, you'll be alerted on Facebook. I'm a member in there, by the way. And the real stories of people achieving success are, I mean, granted, it's drop shipping, so you do get that kind of like flip the switch and get instant visibility. And if you're converting customers, instant sales, unlike, you know, Amazon FBA, where we kind of have that slow grind to rank a product. But, you know, at the end of the day, money's money. So, but yeah, I'm jealous. I see your students crushing it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I will be revealing the ugly truth about Shopify dropshipping, because it's not all just perfect. You just find a product, you scale up and run ads. There are challenges that come with it. I'll be doing a video, which I'll make sure to share with you. Maybe you could share to your members as well.
Nice. Yeah, let me know.
So why use Facebook? Pretty simple. I'm sure most of you listening and watching this video, you're on Facebook, right? You see that if you pay attention to your newsfeed and you actually look, let me see if I'm not going to pull up an example now, but if you're scrolling through your newsfeed, you'll start to differentiate, if you look close enough, the posts that are sponsored, their ads, and the posts that are just people posting your newsfeed or relevant things that the algorithm's feeding to you. Now, why should you have that in mind, right? Well, Facebook knows you better than you know you, to be in all honesty. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that there's a lot of people like me spending a lot of money on Facebook every single day, okay? And they're running targeted ads that are finding you, and they're finding you specifically because of some type of action or behavior you've taken on or off Facebook within your browser, right, or on your phone itself. Facebook has all the data.
A lot of things tracked.
It's scary how much, man. So that's a big thing. Is first is the targeting, right? So, and the interesting thing is, I'm going to talk a lot about Facebook's algorithm and the targeting and how it works. The funny thing is, the hacks and tricks that used to apply 1, 2, 3 years ago, a lot of those things don't matter anymore, right? Facebook has gotten so good that I will just do general target. Like if I'm selling iPhones or something, which I would not be, I would be targeting phones as one of the first interests, right? One of the first audiences, because that will work. That works way better and is way more effective than years ago, right? That is how good Facebook has gotten. It is better than us. It's almost to the point where the machines are literally taking over, okay? The next thing is the scalability. Almost everyone on the planet's on Facebook, right? Just knowing that simple fact. And the interesting thing is too, there's actually a lot of money left on the table by not selling worldwide, right? Obviously that changes things. If you have a print on demand business, if you have an Amazon business, you can't reach countries necessarily throughout South America, throughout Asia, always like you can with the tier 1, UK, Australia, US, Canada, New Zealand, right? So just the fact that you could scale out to a worldwide presence, if you have the fulfillment for it, is really powerful, because your traffic is going to be a fraction of the cost outside the US as it is within the US. Obviously, that's for a reason. Where most of your buyers going to be? Your UK, US, Australia, right? But if you're spending, if you're converting at half the same rate as you do in Italy, but you're spending 10 times less, you're actually more profitable in some of those countries. So that's something really important too. Most people don't think.
Yeah, and we have international distribution potential. Like the primary print on demand production partner, who actually we outsource the order production and shipping to. The primary one that I recommend is named Printful, and they actually have international production facilities in Canada, Mexico, United States, Latvia, and I think they're opening one in Australia. I have to double check to make sure, but they're expanding rapidly, and it's been extremely successful. Also, I looked it up. Facebook has 2.6 billion monthly active users,
and that's active, right? So
active as of the first quarter of 2020. So yeah,
it's incredible.
That's on Facebook, guys.
So the scalability is there. It's insane. Like, for example, in drop shipping, like traditional Shopify drop shipping, we find a product, we test it. If it does really well, we just ramp up our ad spend, right? Obviously, there's more strategies and tactics behind that, but very generally speaking, the ability to scale something that is a very hot, responsive product, which you'll see an example of the graph in a second, it's amazing. And also the last thing is it's become very easy to use. It's still a little bit technical, but I mean, you could teach a monkey how to do this stuff, honestly, like if you just put the reps and the time in, right? So here's some of the stores I've worked with, and some of these are actually my own stores or partner stores, right? So I mentioned the one store on the left here. Check this out. So this is one of our students. We helped her start from zero mid-April, late April. So she started testing her product April 17th.
That's crazy. That's less than 2 months ago.
Yeah. And she scaled up. Biggest day was almost $40,000 in one day. And that was not even 3 weeks after finding the product. So that's obviously, that's a golden goose. Like that's a unicorn. That's not going to be, that's like one in 100. I don't know. But that's a amazing example of everything working right. Okay. Where on the other hand, maybe like one of my partner stores here in the middle, we've done almost 800K evenly since August 14th, since we found this one product. I probably should have just gone back to make a nice even 800K a day or two. But regardless, this is more of like an example of something that's a little more evergreen. It's not seasonal. It's consistent, right? And then you get the products like you see. This is one of my own stores here on the right. So you can see we found a pretty good product late Feb, coming into early March, actually right around Corona time. And this is not a Corona related product. It's kind of a Corona related product. I'll just tell you what it is. It's like it's a hair dye product, right? So you can imagine store shut down. You couldn't go get your hair cut. You couldn't go get your hair done. Gray was coming out. Gray's got to go, right? So I've been selling a hair dye product, okay? And that's been super consistent and just started to tail off, probably because all these spas and salons are starting to open up.
Right.
Regardless, like this is a big difference between what you'll find doing Amazon or POD or even Google as your main selling channel with paid or without paid traffic. Just this is a representation of a great product with Facebook ads specifically on Shopify.
Yeah. I like that one too, just to touch on like the print on demand connection, because for those of you, I don't know if we made this clear, but like John's not selling print on demand, but he is selling drop shipped products. And the way this works is extremely similar, especially if you're using Shopify for your print on demand store or drop shipping store. I mean, that's pretty common. And the reason I like the hair product as an example that relates to print on demand is that if you're selling the POD products, the equivalent of a drop shipping product with print on demand is really just the niche selection. And with print on demand, your products are going to be a lot more flash in the pan. You know, if you ever, I know most people don't like Gear Bubble, but if you go listen to the guy who founded Gear Bubble Talk, he's a Facebook ads expert. And whenever he finds, like he tests and tests and tests tons of different niches for sale on different print on demand products. But when he finds one that works, he scales it like crazy. And for the next like couple weeks, he just milks it for everything he can, because a lot of times these are not like evergreens that are going to sell year round. Like we may project with our like FBA business, which is why if you're looking for a steady cash flow business, you may want to like direct your attention over to Amazon FBA more than drop shipping, or, you know, I don't know actually if you'd agree with that.
I would agree with you 100%. I mean, like you see the product here in the middle, we're still selling it, so I'm not going to go into detail with what it is, but it's an everyday cosmetic, right? So it's not going to go anywhere. Well, at least for now, until we just tap out the audience. But as you said, there's 2.5 billion active users, right? So this could potentially, it's not impossible for this thing to run another couple months, maybe a year. Who knows? Like I would have expected to run this long. Question. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm learning as we're going too. I told you guys Ryan's expertise is far outside of my wheelhouse. So if I'm selling something on Gear Bubble or Printful or one of these other POD print on demand services, they handle fulfillment and design, or like I said, I basically upload designs and they can do the listing, or I can bring it into my store, right?
Yeah, it's incredibly easy. I got to show you sometime. They've basically made these product creation wizards, and it takes seconds. And it's to the point now where there's automation tools that can do it for you. So you can scale it out like crazy.
I could actually take my rapid testing I do, because just to talk a little bit about like Shopify drop shipping, right, guys? So, and gals. So I'll do product research. I'll find 10 products. We'll set up our ads and we'll just launch them and see what happens, right? So Ryan, I could actually just design my own 10 products, my own designs, and just do the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's our average cost going to be on, and this would be a good lesson too for everyone thinking about getting into POD. What's the average? Obviously it depends on the quality of the shirt, the number of colors and stuff like that, but on average, what's a shirt going to cost me to sell, or my cost?
The average price range is going to be between $8 and $13. You know, the two most common, most popular shirt types from the most popular print-on-demand production partner, Printful. It's that range, 8 to 13 as your base. So, and the $8 shirt is like a unisex shirt that I personally love, and I'm actually wearing one of the $13 shirts right here. It's the Bella Canvas 3001. Nice. Both are great options, but yeah, and I mean, again, there's no cost to use Printful to supplement any of your drop shipping stores with additional, you know, swag, if you will.
That's cool. And they handle the fulfillment for you. Like the biggest challenge we run into just with doing Shopify drop shipping is we're sourcing products usually off AliExpress or through an agent that we have in China. And there's like a 2 to 3 week lead time sometimes to get the product to the customer. So if Printful or Gear Bubble is, I mean, guys, I'm excited for you. I'm probably going to start testing stuff from POD as well. So it'll be exciting to come into your space. But you know, it show you like that just that solves a huge challenge you're going to have, regardless whether it's Amazon or Shopify you're selling on, right? It's usually going to be your fulfillment, your supply chain.
It gives you scalability too. So yeah, let's jump back into like the how-to for Facebook ads and
cool, man. I just got excited for a second. Sorry about that.
No, I know it's easy to get excited. Trust me. That's why my print-on-demand videos have been doing so well lately. I think everybody's excited. So
name the movie first. What's the movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
Bingo.
Yes, of course.
I didn't watch
that haircut too. Delete all those old photos.
Okay, so what people think is important with Facebook ads, and this really applies to business in general, but specifically e-commerce, and I think you could probably agree to an extent with Amazon, but all specifically with POD listings on your Shopify or anything on your Shopify store. What matters, what people think with Facebook ads is that there's like some magic thing to hack and trick the algorithm, which there are little things that will show up where if you set up your ad structure in a certain way with specific targeting and manual bidding and stuff, there'll be like a 1 or 2 month window where it cuts your costs down, like just in a way that isn't typical. But usually those come in waves and they go just as fast. So really,
I see the same in Amazon ads too.
They're algorithmic hacks, right? Yeah. And I'll tell you why that's actually the least important thing. If you find them, great, but know the fundamentals first, which we'll talk about. The second thing is the product price. People buy value, right? So dropping the price and giving up your margin usually is not the answer, but this is where people's brains typically go when they're starting to get into e-commerce or just selling and driving paid traffic. Because a lot of times people that start doing Facebook ads, they're very fearful around spending money on ads. Like you have to really condition yourself to be okay spending money and losing money some days, because you have to, like the numbers I showed you, like I didn't show you the years of the ups and downs of making money, spending it, running on ads, losing money on ads.
Learning curve, man. It's part of business.
100%, right? Yeah. So the benefit of Facebook is with ads is that you have control over the traffic. It doesn't guarantee profitability by any means, but instead of there sitting and waiting for something to happen for the thing to sell itself, you get into the cockpit, right? So you're the driver in the wheel, okay? And then also the third biggest misconception I find is that people get caught into these ideas around Facebook ads that it's like some magical thing with the algorithm that matters specifically when you launch your ads, the pixel you're using, all this baloney, right? All these like theories that people come up with, because we actually don't know how the algorithm works. A lot of it's just interpretation based off of what we see happen. So let's talk about what actually does matter with Facebook ads, okay? Yep. First, it's going to be the product. And this is what I was saying earlier, right? If you can't make a bad product sell, and if you do get it to sell, it's probably not going to sell at a profit. I mean, if I'm trying to sell this letter, it might cost me $1,000 in ads before I make my first sale. Why? Because I don't know anyone that's going to value that letter to me, right? So product is king or queen, whatever your flavor is, doesn't matter to me. But the point is that the product is a good product. You shouldn't need to manipulate the algorithm to get it to sell, Okay. And I'm sure you see that you're coming from more of an organic sales, a listing based selling platform with Amazon or with whatever channel you're selling on. And the thing is that kind of validates itself, right? Facebook ads is even more important because you're spending money to get traffic, and you're going to know very quickly based on the data what's actually happening or not happening. Okay. And 9 out of 10 times it's the product. It's not the page or the ads or anything like that. Right.
Makes sense.
Second most important thing is going to be your creative. Okay. What is a creative? A creative is basically the thing you see in your feed or maybe in your stories every now and then, or even in the marketplace, just as a couple examples, right? So your creative is going to be composed of either images, videos with thumbnail, or maybe a combination of a carousel, right? Where you have the multiple side by side and you scroll on your newsfeed. Okay. There's other listings and placements as well for your ad, but just generally speaking, just know the creative is the ad itself, right? The combination of either image, image, video, or text, which we call sales copy or text, right?
And it's basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like you're trying to get people to, attention spans are short, right? You're trying to get people to stop scrolling and say, oh, what was that? And like keep their interest. And from there, now you've got their attention, get them to take action, click a link, right? And then take you to your Shopify.
So to put these two together, part one and part two, okay, this is the most important thing. Like we could talk ad strategy all day, but this is what matters, folks. So if the purpose of the creative, the ad itself is to sell the click. You're not selling the product, right? The news feed is not where you sell the product. Maybe you get people excited about the product, but this is a big misconception. A successful click-through is, in my opinion, is the sale, right? The creative is validated when it gets the person not only to click, but then eventually make a purchase. Right? For example, if I have 2 ads for one product and one is very clickbaity, but then they get to the page and leave right away after like 100, 200 visitors, no one adds it to the cart and goes towards a purchase. That wasn't a successful ad. Maybe it had good metrics at selling the click, but you sold the wrong click. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you maybe had a lower click-through rate, like a lower percentage of people clicked on ad number 2, but they converted, they added to the cart, and maybe 3 out of 100 actually purchased, right? That's going to be a more successful ad when you look at the funnel as a whole. Okay. So the next thing is what actually matters is going to be how within Shopify, for example, which is very specific to Facebook, and this will probably apply to variants on Amazon listings. And I'm not an expert in other platforms, but I think you'll get what I'm saying. So your bundles and your upsells. Bundles are going to be when you come to a product page and you could buy a mug, a puppy mug, and then you can also for another $10 buy a puppy mug and a kitty mug, right, together. Okay, so that's what we're going to call a bundle, right? Or after the purchase is done, you then represent them with another relevant item. Maybe they're buying iPhones. They buy the first iPhone for $500, and then after the purchase is completed, with one click, they can add another iPhone to their order.
Add a case. You see this on Amazon, right? Frequently bought together.
Yeah, so that would be more so pre-purchase, which is definitely a part of it, but it is an upsell. You're upselling the value of the sale, right? But Shopify, the cool thing is with all the amazing apps they have, you can actually represent things prior to the sale being done or after, which is my favorite way to do. But why is this important, Ryan? Real think about this. So if you're spending on average $10 to $20 to make a sale, right, which sometimes is the case, a lot of the times with most products you're selling, you're going to say, if I'm selling a $20 t-shirt that costs me $8, I've got $12 of profit margin before ads, right? If I have to spend $15, how do I make money? Well, the answer is to get maybe 10% of your customers to add 2 more of the same shirt or a bundle of 3, right? So basically the game you're playing, yes, it's bundles and upsells, but it's what we call AOV, or average order value. How can I get the person to spend as much as possible on average per sale? right? So if you go back to the chart that I showed you earlier, I'll go back to it. So the product on the left, for example, it's a $35 product. It's an everyday product, mass market, where our average order value is $66.
Nice.
We're spending 20 to 25 initially when we scaled per purchase. Now we're spending about $30 a purchase because there's less demand for it, right? How do we afford to spend $30 to make every sale? Number 3, because we're getting them to add additional units to the cart. Very simple, right? And this, when you're selling POD, print on demand, on Shopify as an example, this is perfect. Why? Because you have that opportunity with your apps, with a good product page, right? So all those things can entice the consumer to add that second, third unit, and that gives you more power to keep scaling and spending money.
And you know what? I'm going to drop a video this week, later in the week, on like advanced Etsy print on demand selling strategies. And this actually, I'm just going to piggyback off what you just said. Like some of the most successful Etsy print on demand shops do just this. And you know what? Maybe in the video, I'll go and I'll show you exactly how to do it yourself if you're interested, because it's actually not that hard. They basically take the set of tools Etsy gives to sellers and they tweak them in a very creative way, literally for this express purpose, to create upsells.
Super cool, man. And that's going to give you the buying power to spend on Facebook. Because, I mean, in all honesty, if you're going to spend $10 to $15 to make a sale at best with a good t-shirt, you're not going to make money unless they're on their own hitting that plus button and buying 2 of them, right? Mm-hmm. So that, like, those tactics and strategies sometimes are your profit, okay? And remember, like, you could obviously sell things without ads and maybe make like a 50% profit margin. But if you only sell 1 of those a day, I'd rather give up 40 out of 50% of that, take a 10% profit margin, but sell 1,000 of them a day, right? I'd rather make a big pie and take a smaller piece, okay? And then last but not least, the most important thing is, terrible drum roll, and your ad strategy. So this is actually where the ads comes into play. But remember, at this point, you have a great product. You have the strategy within your price point, how you get your bundles, how you get them to spend more on average. And then also you got some really good images or videos to sell the product, or should I say sell the click, so that they want to buy the product when they get to the page. The one thing I did forget to add in here is a good page, right? A good sales page, but that's not a complicated concept. Okay. You can model a lot of Amazon pages with how to do their bullet point descriptions, and you could use that as like a template with some good images.
Pause for 2 seconds too, and just reiterate that it's not just about, because somebody that's never run Facebook ads before probably saw this and said, all right, I need a product and a good creative. And what you just said is you're testing not just multiple products, but you're testing multiple creatives per product, right?
Correct. So this really comes down to what you're selling. Like with apparel, you could definitely make some cool videos or transition videos, or you get someone to model it. I mean, a lot of times with Facebook, like just me doing a selfie style video or filming my dog playing with a product I'm selling, like that, those actually can do really well. Mm-hmm. You would be shocked with some of the video ads that perform best. They're typically not going to be the ones that you would think. But also it just depends on the product, right? So, but you could, with apparel, for example, you could do a lot of image ads and those work great.
Cool. Yeah. And that's just something interesting. And there, print on demand sellers are very familiar with a service called Placeit, which essentially lets you generate like just endless CGI mockups, static images, even videos. Mm-hmm. So there's plenty of potential to get your creatives done with just, the same way we uploaded a product, we upload a graphic to create the print on demand product. Same thing, go over to that website, upload your graphic. They'll take care of a bunch of mockups for you. So
Ryan, not a outright pitch for your course, but you do have a course that shows POD, right?
Yes, I have a very in-depth print-on-demand course, basically multiple courses rolled up into a single course. I call it my Dropshipped print-on-demand course, and it covers everything that you need to know to make 6 figures in sales annually selling print-on-demand. How did I arrive at 6 figures? Well, because I've sold 6 figures, not just last year, but the year before as a print-on-demand seller, so I'm teaching you everything I know. If you guys are new to my channel, check out my income reports. I publish one each month, and I walk you through my sales. And I tell you how my business is going. Obviously, there's been interesting times so far this year in 2020, but if you want to see how that's affected my business, you just saw how it's affected John's dropshipping business. It's definitely been positive. I don't know if it's been as positive for me, but I'm still surviving. You know what I mean? I'm still hitting that like 5-figure profit mark pretty regularly each month. So
do you have any coupon codes? Because I'm asking yes because I want people to go buy it because you're a rock star and you're transparent at your stuff. But I'm actually really curious how fast I could get up and going, since I know kind of like the back end logistics of Shopify and the apps and the ads. Like, how fast could someone like me get up and going, right?
Yeah, man. And the answer is it's obviously going to vary person to person. So if you want to get up and running as quickly as possible, I'm going to tell you, you need to prioritize marketplaces based on their sales potential. I break all of that down in the course. It's actually laid out sequentially, by the way. So it's not just lectures, it's modules containing lectures. It's laid out in the order you need to approach them. All that's taken care of. And John, I'll hook you up with a promo code, man. And anybody that's watching this video that's interested, reach out to me on Facebook Messenger or email if you want any additional information. And if you want to join between today and Friday, I'll hook you up with 20% off, which is the max discount I offer. So again, shoot me a message personally, though. I want to hear from you. I want to know if you enjoyed this video, if you have any questions, etc., so we can make this content better for you in the future as well. So John, did you have anything else left in your presentation?
I think we did.
Okay.
Cool. So we got to talk about actually doing ads, right? But I think it was really important before we went into anything about ads to really pre-frame everyone what actually matters. Because if I just showed your audience and your listeners and viewers how to do ads, they're going to try with like a bad product, for example, or bad creatives, and then they're going to fail and say it doesn't work when that's actually not true, right? It's like someone that goes to the gym and goes into the gym, like Planet Fitness. I'll put them on blast, and they go do the treadmill or elliptical at a low speed, and they are mad because they're not losing weight, right? Just going to the gym doesn't mean that you're guaranteed success.
Planet Fitness. That's what I took from that.
So to touch real quick on Facebook ads, and I explain this more in my mini course, actually, which is specifically for dropshipping, but it would definitely apply to you if you wanted to just kind of get the fundamentals around ads and Facebook ads for POD on a Shopify store. So first thing is you got to design your creatives. And this is, remember, as you can see at the top, this is assuming you've already selected a good product. So you have designed your POD, for example, right? You got a super relevant t-shirts, maybe with really...
It may be a niche for print on demand. Yeah.
What's that?
It may be a niche that's in high demand for print on demand. Yeah,
exactly. It could be relevant to the crazy things we're going through with coronavirus or with George Floyd or any of this. I mean, you could just come up with endless things as long as you're not infringing on copyright, of course. Mm-hmm. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to design your creatives, and it sounds like that's actually super easy. So if you're selling something else, right, that's that can be organic pictures, that could be high-end professional shots or videos, that you have to throw up a lot of things. I typically test 60 unique versions of a creative. That could be 10 images, 2 videos, and then 3 versions of copy, or however the math plays
in the
out.
text. Yeah.
Right. Correct. So that's our first phase. We run that phase testing. It's usually one targeted audience, and then we split that up over $3 budgets times 20, so about $60 a day. And what we're looking for is if that click is being sold, which one of those 2 or 3 ads out of the 60 are selling the click best. Because if I broke down the data in my ads manager for a product I'm testing, if I have 60 ads, probably half of them are getting either no clicks or 1 click for every $2, $3, $4. You're not going to make money if you're spending $3 a click on Facebook, especially selling t-shirts, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm looking for something in Facebook ads, for example, that's going to click maybe 30 cents, 50 cent clicks, right? Because then I have a shot. If 10% of my traffic makes a purchase, that means for every $5 I spend in ads, I'm getting a sale. Right. Typically on Shopify, you're going to get like a 3% conversion. Always varies depending on the product. But even at 3%, if you're getting 50 cent clicks, you should be able to make a profit with the t-shirt, depending on your margin, your upsells. Okay. After we've identified our best ads, so this can be as quick as 4 days, this can be as long as a week if you want to take your time. You do want to see sales, right? So sales are a great sign. But if you're getting really cheap clicks, you're getting a ton of traffic. Maybe you just need to work on your page, but regardless, you move into the next phase. Next phase, that's when we take our best ads that we've identified so far, and this is going into day 5 or day 8, and you're going to split those best 2 or 3 ads, you're going to split those up into separate targeting groups and ad sets, which you'll learn about later, and you're going to take one audience to put in front of each one of those. So step 1, you narrow down your best ads that people respond to best. Step 2, you then narrow down your best audiences with your best ads. If it shows promise at that point, you then scale up, and that can be done in a million different ways. If it doesn't, but you see the benefit to continue to invest in it, then you rework your product page, maybe how you're presenting things. Maybe you do bundles instead of single units. You just got to get creative at that.
A lot of variables, but at least if it's validated so far, you can justify spending more time.
Correct. So that's the general idea. And just to touch real quick, if you're not aware, if you've never been on Facebook, for example,
if you're one of the people that's not in the 2.6 billion.
So this is going to be where a majority of your ads are going to display, right? There are audience networks, which are like partnerships that Facebook has, where they do rev share and everything like that. Instagram is going to be another place where you're going to see it. The story ads are becoming a little more popular. If you're in the marketplace much doing local stuff, you'll see ads there as well. But these are basically going to be your placements. But most of your money is going to be made in these 2 you see right here. Okay. And remember, obviously we don't have all day, unfortunately, so I couldn't go super technical. You could see that in my free mini course.
Probably a good thing.
And we'll do part 3. We'll just do a freaking setup with one of your store. Well, I'm going to help you launch a Shopify store, Ryan.
There you go. We'll do that.
So, I'll take any questions you got, man. If you want to talk more specific or anything else I could do to just add some value to your audience and get them excited about Facebook ads.
I have an idea because this video ran longer than I wanted it to. So if anybody has questions for John about running Facebook ads, because if you are one of many people that have invested time and probably money into launching a Shopify store, Shopify print on demand store, most likely if you're watching this video, go ahead and check out the link to the Facebook group for ecom dropshipping wolves, because I know you've got an active community there, people that love to help. And what do you say you just help people out with any questions they have about Facebook ads there?
For sure, man. Yeah, just post them in the group, tag me, and I'll answer. I answer every question.
Awesome. Yeah. So then I'll see you guys. I'm already a member of the Facebook group, so I'll see you guys in there. And John, again, thank you for being here. Tremendous value shared on this webinar. I'm feeling like more questions in my head about like, what do I need to do to get my Facebook ads optimized? But you know what, man? We're friends, so I know you'll be there to help me along the way. And
we'll do it for part 3, man. We'll give it to the people. We'll show them what to do.
Yeah, I'm sure people are dying for a like hyper technical 3-hour video on how to set up Facebook. You never know, though. I mean, I have seen Facebook how-to tutorials with like 1 million views, so maybe we do that.
Yeah, we should, dude. That would be a great video. I think if we launched, we could even do like a store challenge and how to launch Ryan's store in less than 2 hours and get ads live.
Yeah, that sounds fun, man. And with print on demand, it's going to be challenged, or maybe it won't be. I don't know. Only one way to find out.
Well said. Well said.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Thank you for watching till the end. By the way, if you haven't, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, YouTube told me that over 70% of people watching my videos are not subscribed. So hit the big red button. After you do, if you want to be alerted the next time I drop a video, just hit the little bell icon, and Google will let you know via email. And if you got the app installed, they'll send you a push notification letting you know that I dropped a video. Thank you guys for watching till the end. And John, thank you for being here. And I'll see you guys next time.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at ryansmethod.com. Thank you.